We got to see some of this stuff behind closed doors. Let's start with Gears. That's where I was. That's where I left off here before my crazy tangent. Miranda, you and I got to see this thing, sort of. We didn't actually see any additional footage, but we talked to the developers in group interview settings for an hour. So what are your thoughts with that additional context, additional detail? Because we did learn a few extra things in those Q&A sessions. Yeah,
so I guess as a little promo for myself, I put together, I was going to curse, I'm not going to curse, I'm sorry, video editors. It's a huge interview, like overview, and I try to keep it really focused on things that, it's always hard, right? Because like they only want to show so much, and they've been pretty tight-lipped on a lot of aspects of Gears. But we learned a lot about how they're approaching lore, the new movement mechanics. Like obviously they keep telling us like, we're built this from the ground up. Their big thing is they have an empty hard drive, so everything is brand new, completely custom for this game. And that of course means that they're going to make a lot of changes. And my concern there was like, hey, how do I ask if this is a restart of the franchise without saying it, like asking explicitly if it's a restart of the franchise, right? Because like they might not want to get into that, and especially like they have declined to answer both times you've asked about Gear 6. Like basically, like, no, this is what we wanted to make. We were focused on this. Like if we're starting with the empty hard drive, this is what we wanted to do. And so Gear 6 is just like, who knows what's going to happen. However, so kind of how I went about asking about this without saying Gear 6 was like, hey, is this like an Star Wars Episode 1 approach where something is going to fundamentally change in here that will change the view of the entire series? So like, yes, the episode 4, 5, and 6 are still classics. We love those. They're great, but they're also fundamentally wrong now because of what they did in 1, 2, 3. Like there's just like a part of it's not wrong. It's just different. Like the perspective of it is different. And basically they're like, no. Like we're preserving the lore. Like what comes after this moment is still there. And if anything, it's enriched because you're getting more time with Marcus and Dom to learn more about them, more about like the approach to E-Day, of course, like what this place suffered, which is, massive losses. And then also getting into some, I think they said that this is like the most lore-rich game they think they've ever made because it is also just set in one setting. So it is just set in the city of Kelowna. And they're like, because of that, we were able to get like really crafty in like what we included, whether it's posters or graphics or just different kinds of art from comics, from books, from other things that you've seen before, and bring them to life in a new way, which I was like, okay, that's actually really sick. And like, even in the trailer, if you look at the back of the bar, there's a Coltrane poster because it's like, he's a superstar. He's like just this superstar athlete. So it's like, it makes sense that he's there. I could go on, but Ryan, do you want me to continue?
Well, can I give you my baseless, like tinfoil hat theory about why they're doing this prequel? Because so I'm going to preface this. I have zero factual basis in any of this. This is pure, unadulterated, like hook it to my veins kind of speculation. But because can either of you think of a time ever where a mainline game franchise that has like an evolving game to game continuous narrative has ever stopped after a cliffhanger and gone back and done a prequel as the next mainline game? Like that, I don't think that's ever happened.
I mean, Halo Studios is kind of weirdly doing that. Not really, but also it's like following the same path.
So,
it's not a mainline, but they have 3 new prequel chapters technically.
I guess there's, although this would probably, Halo would probably fold into this tinfoil hat theory. And so everybody knows Miranda and I love Gears 4 and 5. We combined reviewed it, single player, multiplayer. But I know there's not as much love for 4 and 5, kind of generally speaking, in the community. My theory is, again, baseless, pure speculation theory, is that that 5 did not sell super well, and the number was trending down on the sales chart, and they had started to make their internal pivot towards multi-platform, and they went, okay, we can reset this thing. We can get PlayStation 5 players in here at the ground floor with a prequel. Everybody loves Dom and Marcus. This will sell way better. and we'll go back and do this. And of course, again, I don't know the sales numbers. Microsoft doesn't give that stuff out. As Miranda, you said, they insisted in the behind closed doors session that, well, this is what we wanted to make, which I'm sure is also true. I'm not saying they're lying, but I have to think that it's just so odd that they would leave the Kate story completely hanging with no apparent plan to ever resolve it, which I'm not like super mad about. Like I love those games, but if they end up resolving that in a book or a graphic novel or something, okay. But I just think there's like a little maybe crumb of anecdotal evidence by the fact that like there was some leak of was this a store page or something that had the PlayStation logo attached to Gears of War E-Day. And so the scuttlebutt is that this pivot to Gears E-Day being a total console exclusive was a last minute thing. So anyway, that's it. I guess it doesn't matter, right? It is what it is. But that's my sort of tinfoil hat conspiracy theory on maybe why they just completely bailed on Kate's story and the Gears 5 cliffhanger and are coming back to a prequel.
I think also part of it is that they narratively wrote themselves into a very difficult spot for how they will format the next game. So like if your choice has to carry over in some way and it's very consequential.
Yeah.
And so, but it's going to change the game for like, depending on what you did for everybody. And
who
like,
did you save, Miranda? Remind me.
I saved Dell. I let JD go.
I did the same thing.
I really wanted, I don't know. I wanted to see the drama with Marcus. Like,
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I broke his poor heart.
I love you, but I want to hurt you more. This is an abusive relationship. But that's like huge, right? So like whatever they would do next. But that was my other main theory is that they just didn't. They were like, oh, let's just hold off on this and figure it out later kind of thing, future problem. But they've also been, like, the coalition's been pretty clear. And the various people I've talked to who have been there, and some of them have moved on at this point. But every time I talk to them, they're pretty adamant about, like, wanting to, like, explore different stories within the franchise. Yeah. I mean, we saw that like, their detour with, like, Hivebusters, right? We also had Gears Tactics. Yeah, they do such a great job, like, exploring these other parts of the series that even though this is that detour, I think to your point, I don't feel too sad. I think at this point, because they really sold me on E-Day as a story.
I can't help but do the gamer thing of like looking too far ahead instead of enjoying what's right in front of me.
Yeah.
And I can't help but wonder, but where do they go after E-Day? Like, I don't know. Because Gears of War 1, like how, isn't it like, was it 14 years or something, Miranda? It's some...
Yeah, there's quite a bit of time between now and Gears 1. And there's like Judgment in there kind of, like, or Judgment's part, like, weirdly in there somewhere.
Right.
But I think, or I hope at least, that they don't just sit in this period in between E-Day and 1. But again, like, we'll see, right? Like, it just really... It's really hard to say where they'll go. But I think kind of to get back on like why I was sold on this, because when this was announced, I think it was pretty like obvious. I was like rather bummed because I love Kate's story. I love Kate so much. And I think that her relationship with Marcus is really interesting and they have something cool going there. But the moment that sold me, like I was locked in during the direct, like the Gears direct. They were trying to like set up our headphones and I was like, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you right now. Leave me alone. I felt so bad. But there's this moment in the bar, like kind of early on, where Dom and Marcus are just in the bar and Dom is on the phone and he's obviously talking to Maria and he's like, love you, baby. And he's just so happy. And I'm like, okay, this is the reason. This is such a good reason to have E-Day, because like, obviously this is within like the first part of the game, but it is not the beginning of the game. Like you can tell that we're gonna get some moments with them when they have like this is what I wrote in the interview. Like we have relative peace. Like we've never really seen that in old Sarah. Like we've seen Marcus being really sad and grumpy and in peace, quote unquote, as an old man, and it's really sad, and he's really bitter. Yeah, his tomatoes. Thank you. But so like this is such a unique spot, and of course they're like grieving Dom's brother, but even still, like they're not stressed about the entirety of humanity's future and how it's collapsed and other things. Like it's going to be just such a unique perspective to see these two, and that's made me really excited, basically.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. Like I'm all in on this too. I mean, I'm super excited about, again, would I have loved to have seen as you noted, the choice that the Coalition would have had to make about how to resolve the choice in Gears 5. That would have been quite an interesting thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled to have Dom back. I'm thrilled to be exploring E-Day. I can't wait for this. And so, and you know, it's, I'll be completely honest. And I said this to you guys in the room just privately, but in the initial showcase, I was like, this doesn't look as amazing visually as I expect from Gears. But then when we got the behind closed doors thing and they kind of showed some more scenes and stuff, it started to click for me. And I'm kind of curious where it's going to ultimately land. Like, because this series has always visually set the bar. I mean, it's always been like the Unreal Engine game. I mean, it was the original, of course, was 100% that. It probably sold a lot of Unreal Engine licenses when the first one came out. But yeah, I mean, October 6th can't come soon enough. And for anyone that hasn't heard, there is going to be a beta weekend for starting August 6th. So that's coming up.
I'm so excited.
And Miranda, you want to give that? We got a couple of quick little, like, we didn't see multiplayer, but they gave us a like top level bit of multiplayer information.
Yeah. So one big thing that I wanted to highlight for folks in the competitive scene who get like really deep in, wall bouncing's changed. So obviously the way they do running has changed pretty significantly. Like it's not the classic roadie run in the way that we know it. Like they don't punch in, the screen doesn't shake, they pull out. I guess also that's changed with sliding and how cover works. So they said that wall bouncing does not work the same way. You can still cancel in specific ways that work, but it's just not going to be like exactly as it was before. They also, we didn't talk too much about multiplayer. It's more like movement because they were like, well, at least in my session, like we're in separate sessions to be clear.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll have more multiplayer later. But that was kind of part of it. And of course, the 4-player thing just being central to all facets of this. So you're going to play 4-player multiplayer, 4-player in Horde, even though it's 12 people. So you'll be in a squad of 4. So like things like that is going to be there. I guess some other like mechanical stuff, the active reload bar that pops up that you see in the demo, and I guess in the trailers and stuff, and in the gameplay, you can move that back up to the top right. Like you don't have to keep it in the middle. Yeah. I was like, at first, I was just like, wait, what is happening? Like, why is this just right in front of me? Like, I think that is a great, as they said, like onboarding for new people, or if you're trying to learn some of the active reloads, I think that is hopeful. But for like folks like you and I, Ryan, like move it up, please. Move it up. Like, I don't need that here. And then some other like quick nuggets, not necessarily about multiplayer, but I just wanted to highlight before we have to move on. I could talk about Gears all day. I could do this whole podcast about Gears, but I will spare you guys. They said that the campaign is still linear, but that some levels feature larger areas to explore. Like this is not an open world sandbox, which, you know, makes sense for Gears, but that, you know, as they showed that there are going to be other things to do in some of the larger levels. So for instance, like there are people they showed where there's like a survivor out there that you need to go help, or you can help. Obviously there'll be collectibles. They said this is the most collectibles they've had in the game. Of course, we're going to have COG tags. They said that this is longer, quote unquote, longer than any campaign they've built at over 14 hours. So we got some like meat there. And that also all 4 members of Bravo Squad are playable right from the beginning, and that you don't have to play as Marcus. So if you just want to play Dom as Dom the whole game, you can.
I'll just add, because it's people may be wondering, 4-player co-op, 2-player split screen.
Yes.
So that's I know that's a lot of people are always curious if it's all 4 on one console. Not for this one. 2, you can go 2 and 2 if you want, or 2 and 1 and 1, I guess. But yeah, that was the only other nugget. So yeah, so that means in less than 2 months we will be playing multiplayer, and then what are we, like 4 months away from the game? So from the whole thing, yay!
Yay,
Michael.
I mean, yeah.
Let's talk about Fable.
All right, Fable time. Well, quickly, I want to say this is the most excited I've been about Gears. And talking to Miranda at the Xbox event, I have so much respect for Miranda's love for Gears. She was dropping mad lore on me, and you basically looked at me, he's like, people say that Gears doesn't have story, and they're wrong. And I was like, that's, you know what, Miranda, you have convinced me. But I am looking forward to E-Day, and I'm also looking forward to Fable.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Unlocked, IGN's weekly Xbox show. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to watch the full episode at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of Unlocked drop every Thursday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.